Alright, so Boruto chapter 64. This is like my third video on this chapter. That's that's just crazy. But here we go again. This is actually the review. So I made a video like my theories, predictions, and so on the chapter itself. A few weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, then I made the actual spoiler review. I think that was last week, or it was probably earlier this week because no, today's Sunday, so it's a new week. I'm recording this video on Sunday, guys. Yes, Sunday. I'm really late with this review because to be honest, I was thinking that do I need to do a review? Because when I rewatched the like spoiler review video that I did for this chapter, I was like, bro, like you did a lot of talking. This video like was like 20 minutes or something like that, like 19 minutes. You did a lot of talking. Like that was basically the review for the episode. So I really need to cut back on the time that I spent talking in these videos. But the chapter was so interesting, like there's a lot of things going on. Like we got a lot of information from the chapter itself. Like I really went in on my exact thoughts on every single aspect of the chapter. So I was like, do I need to do a review? Because like, I basically reviewed the chapter itself in the spoiler review, right? Because we got all the information we needed. But there was something interesting that happened because I read the chapter, the actual chapter itself, and something interesting happened that I really wanted to talk about because I saw a lot of people on Twitter like making these assumptions and theorizing a lot of things, like going off brand, to be honest, based on what happened in the chapter itself. So I just wanted to give my opinions on that. So this won't be a full like in-depth like page by page, like panel by panel review, but I just want to give my thoughts because I already did that in the spoiler review. So I just want to give my thoughts on something important that happened in this chapter. So I want to start with Boruto and the code's power level because that's really the thing that I really wanted to get into. So after this chapter dropped, like I saw a lot of people saying that Boruto is stronger than Code, right? So that means Boruto is stronger than Naruto. Like, this is not a video on Naruto's power scaling, but just Code and Boruto's power scaling, then we can link it back to Naruto. Because at the end of the day, when Boruto gains a power, the first thing you're going to hear is that he's more powerful than Naruto, of course, because he's the father, he's supposed to surpass Naruto. I don't think he's going to do it like post, like pre-time skip. He's going to definitely do it post-time skip, but people are saying that this form is basically him surpassing Naruto. I'm not entirely sure on that, so let me just tell you why. So based on what happened in the chapter itself, like Code was really not fighting based on what I read. Code really didn't do anything much in this chapter. So the argument everybody's making is that Boruto said that he wasn't going all out, or he didn't go all out. Like he was going to go all out in the end, but he had a heart attack or whatever you want to call it. We don't know what it is. We have to wait on chapter 65. And that's going to be like the end of December. So it's a long wait, which is why I think the Boruto manga should be weekly or bi-weekly, but I digress. So we have to wait 1 month to kind of understand what's really happening with Boruto. So until then, we can just theorize that it was a heart attack because of the pills or because of his exertion of the power that Momoshiki has bestowed upon him. Like similar to what would happen to Naruto when he uses the Nine Tails power, There has to be some kind of side effect to it. So maybe this is one. But this doesn't mean that Boruto is somehow stronger than Code, because you have to remember that Code has Ishiki's Karma seal. And if you just go off the facts and the statements that have been made, like Ishiki is stronger than Momoshiki. Let's just say he's stronger than even Fused Momoshiki, because Naruto and Sasuke was able to box with Fused Momoshiki like quite easily. Like it wasn't really like high diff, it was like mid diff. Like that fight was basically mid diff the entire time, and they got literally low diffed. Almost no diffed almost no diffed by Jigen in his karma state. So this wasn't even Ishiki, this was Jigen in his karma state. So we also have to pinpoint something, because I saw a lot of people saying something on the timeline. I ignored it because I was tired, but let's just make this very clear. Jigen had to absorb the Ten Tails chakra to be able to take on Naruto and Sasuke. That is why he specifically went to the Ten Tails to get chakra to go get Kawaki. A lot of people are saying that he only did that because he was cracking and all of that stuff. Like if you take a step back and listen to the argument, his body was cracking because it was overwhelmed by power. So why would getting more power from the Ten Tails help that situation? It's obvious that he got the power to go fight Naruto and Sasuke. So we can argue based on the fact that he went to get the Ten Tails to go fight Naruto specifically because he didn't think that Sasuke would be there. He was surprised that Sasuke arrived. The fact that he absorbed the Ten Tails chakra proves that it is possible it is possible that he cannot beat Naruto without the Ten Tails chakra. I think Naruto would lose based on his hacks abilities, like the ability to shrink and absorb. Maybe Naruto will be able to overpower him. Maybe Naruto will be able to sense him with 6-pass Sage mode, if he still has that mode. That's besides the point. So yeah, it would be a different fight without the Ten Tails chakra. That's basically what I'm saying. So even though I'm gonna say that Jigen basically low diff, no diff Naruto, you have to remember that Momoshiki didn't have 10 Tails chakra and Jigen did. So that's a pretty good thing that we need to note here. So Jigen is more powerful, stronger than Momoshiki, but is it because of the 10 Tails chakra, or is he just innately more powerful? That's a good question, and maybe make a video on that later on and go into the specifics. But this is not about that, so let's get back on topic. So if Momoshiki, let's just say we agree that Jigen is stronger, Jigen in his Karma versions 2 state is stronger than Fused Momoshiki, then we also need to agree that Code should be stronger than Boruto when he is in his Borushiki form. Because you have to also remember that Boruto is at 80% completion, so he's not at full power. Maybe 85 at this point, because I think it has been 6 months since the events of the Ishiki arc, and he was at 80% then. So maybe it's possible that he's at like 80% or 85% right now, because it has been 6 months, right? But we also have to remember that Kawaki's karma isn't there to resonate with him, so his karma or otsification progression should be slower than before. So it might take a longer time for him to reach 100% because Kawaki's karma isn't there to resonate with him, you know? So let's just say it's at 85%. Like, he's still not at full power. So this is Boruto this is Momoshiki not at full power, going all out or somewhat all out against Code, who has Ishiki's powers, Ishiki's strength, I should say, because he's not using Ishiki's abilities. And Code is also not at full power, because you have to remember that Code has the limiters on. So even though Code is able to access like the second stage karma, I would presume that it's the second stage karma because it's all over his face and his arm, similar to Boruto when he's in his second stage. He doesn't have a horn because remember, Jigen isn't there to like take control of him. And I think the horn is like indicative of when the user is being controlled by the Otsutsuki member, because as I said, like in my prediction video and theory video, I said that it is possible that the fact that Boruto broke the horn, it suppressed Momoshiki's consciousness, because Momoshiki was really concerned about Boruto breaking that horn for some reason. Like, is it a signal, a buildup of chakra, something that really triggers him? Like, what is the point? What was really dire about Boruto breaking that horn? You know, what's the matter with it? And it's possible that the horn is like some kind of signification that, yeah, I'm in control, like yada yada yada, you know, without the horn I can't take over your body. So Boruto has to regrow that horn that he broke before Momoshiki can gain control. Or it could be the fact that Boruto took the pills and that suppressed Momoshiki's consciousness. Like, there are multiple options we can go with. But yeah, it's obvious that Momoshiki isn't in control here. It's Boruto going, like, using Momoshiki's abilities. And Boruto was really confident in using these abilities. I think Code himself, like focusing on Code, like Code wasn't going all out in this fight. Like, nowhere even close. People like saying Code's going all out, Boruto is not going all out, so Code is stronger than Boruto. No, neither of them was going all out. No, we have to wait until the next chapter, because I think we got a paddle here, like Code was saying to them, like, it's better you guys just obey me, because he knows that based on the dialogue and in what Code is saying to these people, it's obvious that Code isn't going all out right now. Even Ada is saying, like, stop playing around, like, focus, like, you don't want to lose to these people, because he is playing around, you know. So the fact that we have multiple statements saying that he's not going all out, you know, he's playing around with them, and people still saying that he's at full power and Boruto is stronger than him, it's mind-boggling, you know. So yeah, next chapter it's possible that we see Code actually go all out to the point that he can, because you have to remember that he has the limiters, and it could be possible that the limiters are limiting his power way below like 80%, like comparable to the 80% or 85% ossification that Boruto has undergone. It's possible that the limiters are limiting his power way beyond that 20% that or 15% that Boruto isn't or doesn't have access to right now, you know. Like, it could be like way below it. So he could be on Momoshiki's level at this point with the limiters on, or below Momoshiki's level, you know. And I want to say Fused Momoshiki because a lot of people are saying that Boruto has the powers and the strength and the the abilities of Fuse Momoshiki. I don't know for sure. I won't say they're wrong, but I'm not 100% certain, because every time we see Momoshiki is in his base form, and even when Momoshiki placed the Karma on Boruto, he was in his base form. So it seems that the power they gain from absorbing each other is temporary, and they lose it upon the point of death. Or it could be that he still has the power, but he just retained his original look. We don't know for sure. We just have to wait and see. But I don't think that Boruto has Kinshiki's power, strength, or abilities. I personally don't think that. But yeah, that's something else that we need to discuss. I think I made a video on it. I didn't upload it for some reason. I have a lot of videos in the backlog, trust me. But we'll get to that one day. But as it relates to this one, like, I don't know. I think Code himself like held back this fight because, as he said later on in the chapter, like, he doesn't want to take Boruto now. He's gonna leave him, allow him to ripe, get stronger, like reach his prime. Then he's going to reap him, like, you know, like how you allow mango to ripen on a tree and then you pick it when it's at its like peak ripeness. Like that's literally the verbiage he used. I think he said peak ripeness or something like that, something along the lines of that. I'm really using my memory here. So yeah, it's really like as I said in the chapter spoiler review, like, we got this information already. Why doesn't he just take Boruto, like lock him up so that he doesn't have to come back and fight him? Like, he's gonna gain abilities, he's gonna get stronger, he can do something to suppress the ossification. If you come back a later date, you'll have to fight like Naruto, Sasuke, a lot of other people. Like, is Code this confident that he can beat everyone, that he's gonna come back one day for Boruto and it's just gonna go smooth and easy for him? Because I think he's really banking on Amado like releasing the limiters. But as we saw in the last part of this chapter, he was ready to leave with Kawaki alone. So he wasn't going to get his limiters removed. So was he going to come back with his limiters on to fight everybody and get Boruto, who is like at 100% Momoshiki's power? Is he that confident that he can take on everybody with his limiters on? Or is he just stupid? You know, which one is it? But yeah, everyone's saying that, oh, it was stated that Code is stronger. It was never stated that he was definitively stronger. I think Amado said that he can take Naruto. He is probably stronger than Naruto, or probably can beat Naruto with the limiters. He never said that he definitely can. I don't remember that happening. And even Code said that he wasn't even sure if he can take on Naruto with his limiters. So even Code is unsure of his powers. So I don't know, Naruto is going to join the fight. As we saw, Naruto has Sage Mode, he's finally using it. Like, we had this discussion, right? I think on Twitter, because I didn't make a video on it. Why didn't Naruto just use Sage Mode to pinpoint Kawaki or Boruto's location? It would literally be like 5 seconds. It would be easy. Everyone's talking about, oh, it would take long and yada yada yada. It's better to have the intel community. See, Naruto just entered Sage Mode, located Boruto in like 10 seconds. That's how easy it was. So yeah, if you know the abilities of Sage, if you know the abilities of Naruto, then you wouldn't even have made that argument in the first place, that you couldn't have been able to do it or wouldn't have been able to do it. Like, it's complete nonsense. But yeah, a lot of people don't know the powers of Sage, because a lot of people just know Naruto using this yellow form and using chakra arms and all that lovely stuff. They don't really understand, or a lot of people, it's a thing like, is it recency bias? I'm not sure, but it could be a case where people are not remembering like what happened in the original series. If you go back to the Pain arc, even in the early War arc stage where Naruto was able to like locate everyone around the entire planet in just Sage Mode, like that was nuts. So he should be able to locate Boruto and Kawaki pretty easily. And I mentioned in my spoiler review that how is Kawaki able to use like the ability of the Otsutsuki to hide his chakra signature when he shouldn't have access to Ishiki's abilities? Like, that's an ability. Someone mentioned in a comment saying that, oh, it's possible that because he's at like something percent otsification, like he can just use it because his body has been modified. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, because your body being modified just enhances your durability, speed, strength, and so on, like your physical attributes. You know, like, that shouldn't give you abilities. You get what I'm saying? Because the abilities themselves are located in the karma, not the fact that his DNA is overwritten to be that of an Otsutsuki. So yeah, how is he able to access like Jigen's or Ishiki's ability to hide his chakra signature? I'm not sure, because Amado said in one of the chapters that to access Ishiki's abilities, you need to like implant another karma to open the door to those abilities. He doesn't have the karma, so the door is still closed. So how is he using these abilities? Makes no sense. We just have to wait and see. Maybe it's an oversight. Maybe they have an explanation. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, this chapter was overall like really good. The fighting was really good. The choreography. I really wish that they used less speed lines. To be honest, I'm kind of over it at this point. Take a note from My Academia. It's like a monthly manga. I say this every month, like when I review the chapters. My Academia is a monthly manga. It's a weekly manga, and you are a monthly manga. So you should be able to do better. You have more time. So like these speed lines need to go. Like Orokoshi is like working his ass off every week. Like his backgrounds are so detailed to the point where like it's too much detail like for a weekly manga, and you're doing it like a monthly manga, and you have like 2 fight scenes for like 4 panels, and you can't just spend the time to draw these backgrounds instead of just being lazy and drawing like speed lines. It's atrocious. But I don't know, man. I don't know where the Boruto manga can go from here. It's good. I'm telling you, like it's good, but the art itself like needs to be improved. Like I love his character designs. A lot of people are not a fan of the character designs, but I love them, to be honest. Sakura one can let's not talk on that one. But yeah, in general, the character designs, the designs of the clothing, like it's really cool. And I wish that the anime kind of use the designs from the manga, but it kind of switched it up a bit. Some good, some not so good. We have the Sarada case, of course, but yeah, we're not gonna go into that. But yeah, overall, like I think the manga is good, but they need to like, I don't know, reschedule, like pause the manga for a month, pause the Boruto anime for a month, set the Boruto anime to seasonal, set the Boruto manga to bi-weekly or weekly, get the shit rolling the proper way, so we don't have the anime surpassing the manga, and we don't have to have endless anime canon or filler episodes to like fill the slot between like the manga and the anime. Like to avoid all of that, that's all we need to do. But they're making they're making money, so they're not gonna change like what they're doing. It's understandable from a business standpoint, but from a consumer standpoint, I really wish that like they change the manga to bi-weekly or weekly and change the anime to seasonal. Like that would be awesome for me. That's really all I want for the Boruto franchise, but our series, whatever you want to call it. But this chapter itself was really good. I'm looking forward to seeing Naruto fight next chapter. We see that Code kinda is upset because Kawaki changed his mind about going with him. Boruto had the heart attack, so Boruto is done for the count. We know that Kawaki cannot take on Code, so we know who's gonna jump in next. It has to be Naruto. So Naruto's gonna arrive at the last minute to save someone's life. And we're gonna see Naruto face off against Code with Sage Mode. Sasuke should be on his way because Sasuke is still in the village, which is really weird. Like, why isn't he aware of what's going on? He should be there. Maybe we see Sasuke arrive first, so Sasuke kind of dismantles Code to a certain degree, and then Code ends up killing Sasuke. Probably. That would be crazy. Like, no build up, Sasuke just dies in a random chapter, and Naruto arrives with Sasuke's body on the ground, yada yada yada, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Or it could be that Shikamaru is the one that's going to die based on what was alluded to in the chapter. Like, throughout the entire chapter itself, like, they're just giving Shikamaru the screen time, and he's talking about, like, can we do this? Like, let's not overexert ourselves, like Naruto, yada, I'm worried, and showing this worried face like when Naruto is talking to Himawari, like it just seems like this dude is going to die. Then we have Ino saying that Shikamaru should come back alive or whatever, like it's like they're literally just saying that, oh, this nigga's gonna die next episode or next chapter, so be prepared. So he might die, might not die, get crippled, whatever, but something might happen to Shikamaru. But I'm looking forward to it. All in all, this chapter was really good. This video is another 18-minute video. I'm gonna cut something out, I promise. Like, this video should not be this long. I don't know, it's like when I get to talking and I have this train of thought and I have something like going, I just can't stop until I say everything I need to say, and the videos end up being too long. So I'm gonna cut this out a little bit if I can. I just don't want to cut out the important parts. Like I said, I think a lot of things I said I really wanted you guys to hear, but I'm gonna cut it up a little bit, see what happens there. And yeah, drop a like if you liked it, comment if you have anything to say, if you disagree, agree, whatever you want to say in the comment section, go right ahead. And share the video if you're new, subscribe if you're new, because a lot of you are not subscribing. The subscriber to non-subscriber ratio is atrocious. It's atrocious. Just subscribe if you're watching the videos, guys. Come on. But yeah, no pressure. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.